That's me, and this is my house. Everything that I have left of any value to me is in the car. I have a Starlink dish, and that gives me internet access, and so I don't have to use data on my phone. I have this is a 2015 Ford Fiesta, and well, it's going to be my first night, so we'll see how it goes. As you can see, I've got a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to have to figure out some way to lighten the load, so to speak, because it's just an awful lot of stuff. And of course I lose everything I touch, disappears into a kind of nightmarish quagmire, bits and pieces of my life. There's my kitchen essentials, my backup battery, my laptop, the bag with some stuff in it, who knows, and back there further, closed. So I'm going to clear a little space and go to bed around midnight tonight, and start the car and run it for 10 minutes or so every hour. Talk to you later. Well, what a day it's been. Day 2 of homelessness in Vancouver, and I drove all over the place today. I went over to I called 10 recovery homes, or rather not recovery homes. I called 10. Sorry, WhatsApp call. I am so tired. It's been a long day, and I went out to fill my air mattress, and I misjudged a turn, and I've got a flat right front tire now. Oh, it's been a hell of a day. Talk to you tomorrow.
Straight, all directions have been impacted, and this has been there for quite some time now. The eastbound direction, reports say, is now completely blocked. In Surrey, a crash at 96th Avenue and 160th Street. All directions have been impacted there, and no updates on the crash southbound at the south end of the Alex Fraser Bridge. This is on the right shoulder, and crews are currently on scene. More traffic coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yeah, so clouds and showers across the region off and on into the evening. Periods of heavier rain overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. We're expecting quite a bit of rain in the picture for Friday as well, especially later in the day. Things are really going to cool down late in the day Friday, and the rain down at sea level is going to be falling as snow up on the mountains, so we may finally see some white on those mountaintops after Friday. Some clearing up for the weekend, and again another system moves in for Monday, and that is likely to bring some snow. So far this season's warm, dry weather has been causing concern across the province, though, but it does mean we're clear of one of
here we are coming up to this traffic light. I sat at that traffic light for 3 minutes. Oak Street. I don't know if you can hear me over 25th Avenue CBC radio. And this is a really strange light. Probably not. There are 4 left turn only lights. 2 west, 2 east, 2 north, 2 south. And all of those, if there's a busy day like this, all 4 of the left turn lanes become activated, and that means that you have to sit through just an amazingly long period of time at this traffic light. And it's just fascinating to me. You know, you get used to things that just don't make any sense. If the system was computerized, and all you need is LEDs running down each curve of the street, and they're synchronized with the traffic lights, and if you're in a green zone, you will get every single light. If you're in a red zone, you will stop at every single light, and if you're in a blue zone, you will stop at every single light. So people that rush through the traffic end up stopping at every light.
Fewer holes to repair come spring and summer. Well, he may be changing his tune if we check in with him next week in light of the fact there's going to be colder weather and snow in the forecast for the entire province beginning next week. Hey, a CBC favorite is set to return.
We all write our own origin story.
I'm grade 9. Grow up.
Well, here we are coming up on another one of Vancouver's weird intersections. See, I'm getting, it's interesting. If you keep at 50 kilometers an hour, you make every single light. Pretty much. You have a minimal weight. If you go 65 kilometers or 60, you will end up stopping at every light, which uses up more gas because you have to accelerate away.
Critch is with us today to tell us more on what we can expect in season 3. He's doing triple duty, executive producer, writer, and actor on the show. Mark,
Cambion Oak, another long intersection. Now at this point, we've traveled just less than 2 kilometers, and it's taken us over 5.5, 6 minutes.
What's in store?
This is why traffic in Vancouver is known as one of the worst cities in Canada. I mean, Toronto has its bottlenecks as well, but the drivers in Vancouver are, for the most part, of Asian descent, and the older Asian drivers. Holy, she almost hit me.
Pains are called pains for a reason, and they go through all kinds of different things and challenges, and trying to realize you have to let go sometimes of who you were to become who you're supposed to be, and things like that. And so it's an interesting year, and this year we would be saying goodbye to the school we've been building in for the last 3 seasons. This is the last year of junior high, so it's a little bittersweet. So growing into high school, but it's all been a great year. I can't wait for people to see it.
Well, sure, but we're not only going to see it, you lived it, right? I mean, when you're writing for this show, do you go back to old diaries, or I mean, what do you draw from? You have great memory, good friends that you sit around as I remember the day?
Well, a lot of that stuff has been burned pretty well into me, and I did go through a lot of this stuff writing the books that the show is based on. But since then, the weird thing about working with memories is when you open a door, another one pops open sometimes, You start to go down that path, like, oh, wait, I remember this, I remember that. And it's less about photos and diaries and stuff, but more about, the feelings. And I've been thinking a lot, writing about what makes a moment a memory, and why is it that I remember 10 minutes of a Monday in 1989, but I don't remember any of the rest of the month. And a lot of times those it can be a traumatic thing, or a very happy thing, or a revealing thing. And so when I start to sit down and think about what the season would be, I'll go like, okay, well, these 13 stories popped up, and then you start building the other story arcs around those, and they kind of decide what they're going to be. They pop out pretty quickly.
Well, sure, and you really run the gamut here. I mean, you've got the family issues, and yes, the school issues, all of that, but this is with the backdrop of the politics of the day. So how do you approach mixing the comedy with the serious stories?
Well, I always wanted this to be a show that had heart and wasn't one of those ones where you had to have so many laughs per minute, I always wanted it to be able to breathe a little and have dramatic moments. We have great dramatic actors in there. You have Malcolm McDowell, and people like that. But our kids, especially Sophia Powers, who's from Vancouver, who plays our female lead, Fox, this redheaded bully girl who I have a crush on. And they have she has a really dramatic storyline with her family, kind of her brother getting into drugs and things like that, her making a decision if she's going to go down this path that everyone expects her to go down, or is she going to forge her own. And this is kind of based on, the real people from the time, and, I really thought it was important to their life and their memory and their story to try and show how tough that is.
Well, hello, YouTube. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you are. My name's Roy. I'm out here in my car in the parking lot at the Save On Foods Grandview Highway, Vancouver. Yes, if you've been down this way, you know the place. It's where all the cars pile up every day. People sit for hours and hours and hours, cruising by, going somewhere to do something, and I'm sleeping in my car in a garage. I'm 75. Celebrate my 75th birthday on August the 29th, to be honest. I mean, let's be real. I'm a recovering alcoholic, sober 20 years, February the 14th. Woo! It looks like I'm going to be 90, 95, around the same age as my dad before I kick the bucket, unless what I know will be true. Within the next 20 years, there will be a lotion created by a lab that will be designed to reintroduce stem cells by rubbing this cream on any part of your body. So essentially, you'll have stem cells for skin, stem cells for teeth. Ideally, the fact of the matter is that, except for the teeth, which are a different kind of remanufactured, the reason we die, very simple. We stop making new cells. Every 10, 15 years, we lose the ability to create new cells. And that is a determining factor in our lifespan. Imagine if you could introduce something, and here's the really neat part. The RNA, which joins together and creates the DNA, which is the foundation of every cell in your body, the RNA and DNA have little tags at each end of the chromosomes that they call telomeres. And the telomeres get shorter each time the cells replicate. And they only have a finite number of replications. My father told me at one point that the calculation was somewhere around 125 million in rapidly dying cells, stomach linings, things like that. Eyes, almost never. So differences within the body, cataracts, things like that. I mean, imagine you could just give a little ointment for your eye, and your cataract, your lens, regenerates back to absolutely crystal clear. Or you just think of the numerous different things, and this is all going to come to pass within your lifetimes if you're under the age of 75. I think I may see it within the next 25 years, so I've got to make it to 95 years of age, and the federal government has finally decided that they're actually going to do something good. The NDP and the Liberals together voted for a dental plan for senior citizens, which begins February 2024. So next month I'll be able to apply, and by the end of the month I should have a real set of chompers. I got 3 good teeth, 2 good teeth on the top, a partial molar on the top. Bottom's not too bad. But my plan was to go to Mexico and get the work done there for $450, but I'll get it for free. Thank you, Trudeau and Sanjit. You are good people. Not that I have anything against Pierre Poilievre. I mean, he's just an alcoholic who doesn't drink. But that's another story for another day. So this is my. I'm going to show you around my living room. All right, this is my living room. And as you can see, pretty comfy in it. This is my studio office. This is where my computer lives. And this is my bedroom. A little cluttered right now. I have to take everything out every night and put it beside the car. Hi there, Roy Kerwood. Home in my little car. Let me take you for a tour. First of all, this is the living